Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 4/29/2025. I kind of missed my video yesterday. I actually wrote out a script for it. So I have 2 days off in a row, yesterday and today. I'm off onto a new adventure. Let me get my dings in. It's still new moon in Taurus, if anybody's wondering about that. I've been doing a lot of understanding of that recently. I do think it has a huge impact, but I only have so much time to put my energy into, and I'm not that big of a deal, so I'm not going to make it out to be more than it is for me. I will say that Bodhi this morning has been a terror. She likes to go outside. I've been doing stuff with her outside a little bit, and we've been working on boundaries, and that's been going pretty well. We had a good day yesterday, had a good evening where I was out with her, and she started to go too far, and here, I'm going to show you her right now too, and I got to blow my nose. So where's this cat at? There she is. She likes to go outside, and she's been sitting at this door wanting to go out here for about an hour, and she's been saying meow, meow. And finally, I'm trying to write this video, trying to write the stuff for this, and she won't stop. Like this right here. She just kept crying. And I'm in the middle of thought, trying to come up with, and here's what I want to say. And I don't want to bring down Bodhi here, but she was reminding me of when I was in stressful situations in the past, trying to deal with myself and my own temper, and having someone in the background nagging. So I let her out, and I went out with her, and I explicitly told her, listen, we'll go out here. I told her as I opened the door, this is a cat I'm talking to. We're going to go out here, but you have to stay on this porch, okay? I'll let you out here. I open the door, and she kind of darts out a little bit, way aggressive. I mean, like, you're not telling me what to do. You open the door, buddy, you stupid idiot. And she got to the front, and then she just went without really much of a thought about it, and didn't go very far. But I was like, we just had this conversation. So then I tried to talk to her. I don't want to bump her with my foot. I really just want I want to say, Bodhi, let's go when it's time to go. And, I'm giving her the opportunity to go it sucks, but I'm just a prison guard. It's not my fault. This is just the way life is. I'm not a bad person. I'm just here to give her the opportunity, according to the rules of I can't allow this cat on her own out there. And there's dogs. There's a dog situation, which everybody keeps telling me about, that sometimes they get out and run around, and Bodhi cannot handle a big dog. So we're going to have to stop going out front, is really the long story of this. But so I am trying to address that. There's a backyard that I have that I could go out. It's just not as nice. I mean, it's nice, but I don't know. I like having the open street because I want to be out. I don't want to be so secluded all the time, but maybe that's what I need to be anyways, do my stuff in the backyard. Also, the moon was out front, and I wanted to look at the moon, and then the moon went, and so, I don't know. I'm just trying to explain my morning, and it was very frustrating for a second there. Really early in the morning, I'm trying to do this and trying to lift my spirits, and as I'm doing it, Bodhi's just sitting there going, yeah, 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 and I'm like, I don't like that side of me. So, She is very nice, though. Bodhi's a really nice girl, and she probably has something that's important to do outside. So after I brought her back inside, because I had to pick her up, she wouldn't come back in, and I had to pick her up and carry her in, and I didn't do it in a mean way. I tried to, before I went down to grab her, I was like, okay, it's just not her. Just grab her nice, pick her up, take her in the house. Don't do that. Just drop her down on the floor, let her be in the house. And she got in the house, and then I sat down, and I was like very disappointed with her. And I'm just like, listen, we're going to have to do better communicating. I don't speak cat. This is important for you to understand. I don't know what you're saying when you say meow. So the more you say it, doesn't help. She doesn't understand, I don't think. But we did come to an agreement. Like with a dog, the dog just will look at you like you're stupid the whole time. And the cat kind of does too. But I feel like there was a moment, and she did kind of, she's good. We're good. She knows that she needs to be patient right now, even though she doesn't want to be. She's like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old that the kid has learned that there is reward that can be achieved through patience, because there's been a couple different times in their life where the parent actually followed through with the promise. Does anybody understand what's going on here? You know what? I have no viewership anymore. So it doesn't really matter what I say. My daughters had their prom. I have two that are senior and junior in high school, and I got to see pictures. It was very pretty. They looked like they had fun. One said that they had fun, and the other one said it was lame. I know people that watch these that know me in the past. They wonder how I've allowed this to happen, and shouldn't I be? I don't want to get into all the things. It's the same questions I asked myself. So I had to go to do. I got to do. It's called the harmonic egg. It's something that was brought here in town that I got a reference to, and I got the ability to do it once for free. So I tried it. If you've never done the harmonic egg, I enjoyed doing it, but they were asking what your intent was. And it's the same wish that I made on the star, I think, is that I just want my children to have the best opportunity at life that they can have to grow. But my purpose now is, and I don't want to, I think the problem with the religion thing is you're supposed to be trying to get to some pearly gates in paradise. And that's not my intention. And that's also like what generational wealth, I think, is the idea of making it to where we have a pathway to paradise for our generations to come after us. But that's really just not how it works. I mean, none of the scripture says that. So it's really a personal thing. So all you can really do is teach by, and that's what I think it is, living the way. But if I'm not with them, they don't see it unless they watch these videos. And then maybe the results of my life in the end, as I stand in front of them again. There's this movie, an old movie called Max Dugan Returns. And it was a very instrumental movie in my life. There was a moment when I watched it when I was a young person that, boy, did I like that movie. And it was something about it. I think Matthew Broderick is in it. And boy, he's in a lot of those movies like that. And maybe identify a little bit with Matthew. He's had a strange and interesting career. Almost like, he's an icon, but he's underappreciated, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I wonder if he feels that way. Why would I care about what Matthew? I do like, one of the best scenes is when he comes over that hill doing, "Oh, shake it up, baby, now shake." That was freaking awesome in Ferris Bueller. Another great movie. Back to Max Dugan Returns. If you've never watched that movie, I may watch that today. I haven't watched it in a long time. It's about a guy that comes back that may or may not have been a little bit shady, but somehow has a whole bunch of money, and he's trying to spoil everybody, and everybody doesn't understand. That would be cool to be that. just to somehow walk into a whole bunch of money and then show up and everybody's like, where did he get all that? Where did that come from? Makes sense though. I'm trying to manifest. Does that work? When you start feeling sad, bad, mad, I have found that I don't like to feel that way. I've also found that pretty much no matter where you're at, you can change it. It's kind of like the reset button. But you got to remember, you got to hold it for 3 seconds. You can't just hit it. It won't turn off. So, breathing, find your center, align, balance, and core. The main thing I got from Harmonic Egg is I've talked about this Trinity. And we kept talking about the 3 for some reason. That came up in our subject matter before I went into the Harmonic Egg. And I don't want to give my experience other than I think everybody should try it. It's worth doing. And maybe use it as a thing. It can't hurt you for sure. It seemed to be soothing, and I could see how it could be very beneficial to people. But what I did come out of it with while I was in it was I started thinking about the Trinity, and what I thought about was, so for me, the Trinity now, well, not now, but there's an alignment of astrology. There's like the cosmos that has a cycle to it. So I think that is a law for us. Like that is going to happen. Mars is going to go here. So they're against the backdrop of this zodiac, which also moves like a dial as well. So just that dial itself dictates our reality. Not dictates, but has a huge effect on our reality as a realm, and then as also as a center, as you in your reality. The more you were aware of it, the more it has an impact. The more you're aware of anything has more of an impact. So if you just think about clowns all day, you're going to live in a clown world. Where you're putting your direction. But so last night, actually, I talk about how I am an Aries sun sign. So Aries, for me, this thing resonated with me is Aries always finds Mars. That's the first thing you do when you go outside. Where'd Mars go? Where's Mars? Oh, there you are. And then Jupiter was real big for me yesterday. Anyways, where was I going with this? Whenever you reset, those are the 3. So the one is the zodiac, basically, is what I'll call it. But it's more than the zodiac, I think zodiac's appropriate. The one thing I looked at yesterday was this big, huge dial, this ancient dial that has all of it on there, which is basically an astrological chart. I thought it was pretty impressive. But, so that is the one. And I think that's kind of source, like what people would call source. I think that is source. It's just what is. It's the cycle. And you can when things move into those different areas, if you start to learn them better, you will learn how you'll start to see how it changes. How it balances, I guess, that's probably what it is. The entire process is a requirement from beginning to end. It has to be done. So Mars has to go in retrograde. Things have to go backwards or forwards or sideways at one point or another to get to where it's going to go. It's just part of it. So that is inevitable and always. And then there is breathing. So we have to, for our life, we have to have breath and water, I suppose, too. But breath and water, I guess, could both be the same. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that. We're just going to stay with breath right now. So I have zodiac and I have breath. So that's the 2. So we got source, and then you got the air, which is what we breathe, or life, if you want to call it that, which also could be light, I guess, because it's the sun. But breath. And then we have blood. So you got zodiac, breath, blood. And I think that's basically how I would put the Trinity. That's our 3 sources. So we have an allegiance to our blood because it's running through our body and it's our heredity. Maybe I'm going off track again, but I guess semen also has an egg that oil system has what our DNA is in, right? So are those the same, the blood and the oil? That's what I always swim with. But if I'm going to try to keep it simple, we're at 15 minutes and I haven't said anything yet. But if I'm going to keep it simple, blood, breath, stars. There you go. So when you need to reset, you breathe, you get your breath, you find your center on the ground versus what's above, you align, you balance. You gotta get your balance. And then once you balance, you find your core. It's kind of this, so center and finding your core, building your core. Once you find out where your butt sits the best on the ground, then you build those muscles around it, because that's where the best place to sit, the most balanced that you are. Same thing with the way you stand. You want your feet, you know. One thing I've been working on recently, and a friend told me a long time ago, is you should start to learn to walk on your toes. And it feels really stupid at first, because especially for me, because I can't get up on my toes. I'm way back like this. So I'm walking like not in proper alignment. But he even said, he goes, well, you'll get better at it as you do it more. And I didn't want to try that. So I'd never, what he was saying is, this is one simple thing you can do in your life, which will make a huge impact on working on, because I've been talking about my big toe. Well, if you start walking on your toes, you're going to really build up that. And I think it's important to walk on your toes versus your ankle, because you don't twist your ankle when you're walking on your toes. All of this has been a huge impact. It's so funny. It's like when you start to build your golf swing too, because I've had so many people teach me in golf. It's in my memory bank way back in the back. It's covered up by Tommy Boy's resin of a lot of marijuana that I've smoked over the years that build up as it started. But if I scrub it, and you know, and I'm really good with my body, I start to unlock stuff, I remember it. And it has made a big impact. So, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm getting so much stronger. I can't even imagine how strong I can get. But whatever, so once you get to that core, you just got to figure out what the next thing is. What's the next thing for you to do? Sometimes it's really big. And generally, for me, the objective is to, if you start out with something big that seems impossible, but it's something that you feel drawn that you have to do, well, you need to go to the first impossible thing and work on the impossible, and then forget about the big thing. Like, if I need to lose 112 pounds, which I could not do, I would be really small. But if I was have to lose a certain amount of weight, or gain a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time, and it seems like ridiculous to do that, you have to scale it. Basically, learn how to scale it. And then once you scale it, it's the worst thing I've ever heard. For some reason, how do you eat an elephant, eating it one bite at a time, I hate that. I hate that saying, but it is very appropriate. You don't want to eat an elephant. Why does who would want to eat an elephant? I guess if you're really hungry, and if you have a village, and you saw an elephant, and there's a bunch of them, but you have an opportunity to pick one off, you'd probably do it. If it meant that you could feed people for a long time. I don't want to eat elephant, really. It doesn't sound good to me at all. I think there's just things you can look at and say, like that wolf there, I'm not eating that wolf. I don't want to eat that wolf. Chickens? I mean, there's so many of them. Rabbits, too. Rabbits, even though they're cute, they say they can make so many of them. Anything that can make a whole bunch at once, I would think, would be okay, because they're more of I think the lifespan of somebody also has a big impact on the way that they live. I talked to a guy yesterday, and it was so funny. He was on those little crutch things, which you hold with your arm, that just give you some support when they're walking. They're not like crutches. They're macho guy crutches, because macho guys don't want to deal with crutches. I don't know what they are. But how old did he say he was? He was 81 years old. What really struck me as funny, because he seemed like a kind of a jerk, actually. He sat down next to me. He was very patient. A lot of these bars now, they have one bartender that's running the whole show. And they're making pretty good money, but the service ain't great. And that seems to be almost every place I go to anymore, especially during the middle of the week. But anyway, so she's doing her best, and she's making pretty good money. And she doesn't want anybody else to come in because she's making pretty good money. So she doesn't really want more help. She just wants everybody to chill out and let her go at her own pace. Not really. She seemed actually very pleasant. Why do I get into these conjectures so much? I just destroyed my whole video. So this old guy comes in there, he sits down next to me, and I'm doing my own thing. I'm listening to another guy and his girlfriend who has her own children with another man, and they got all kinds of drama going on, and she's talking on the phone loud in a negative way, in a gossiply way, about people that are pertaining, and basically telling somebody else what people need to do this and do that, and just in the entire process, this is where I become an asshole. What I want to do is turn into her and say, you realize that what you are doing actually is making everything way worse. Like, it was already really bad. It's a shit show. And you are just like taking the shit and throwing it everywhere. You're making it 150 times worse. And you've been doing this your whole life. And it's probably the reason why all this is going on is because that's what I really want to get into, but I can't. And the guy over there next to her, I think he's kind of in the same boat, but he shares a bed with this lady, and she makes him dinner and stuff like that. That's terrible. It's like a very masculine way to talk about it, but I'm just trying to be funny. It's just a bad deal. So, but she has to go to the bathroom, and then he just looks up at me and is like, whew. And then I was like trying to give him some moral support. So then the old guy next to me, he kind of pipes in. He's talking about the reason why I was there is it's the best deal in town. They're Lord John tacos for 99 cents on Mondays. So that's why I go there. And so I was there to eat the tacos, and that's why he was there. But he was telling me because he's not looking great. He's having a rough time. But he gets really deep with me right off the bat. And he's trying to, I think, machoize himself. And he's explaining that he has a scooter now, but he used to have this motorcycle that he drove down Devil's Turn or something like that, some kind of major road in Tennessee. And that's how he opens the conversation. He's like, that's what I used to do. I used to ride down that thing, and they'd have a race, and he went into it. I threw caution to the wind. But the way he ended it was basically, and he's like, but now look at me. I'm having a hard time with my life. I'm 81 years old, and I didn't think I'd live this long. And that's what made me laugh so much is like, and then I was tickled from there. I just was like, so that's where you're at. You've lived a really hard life. You were expecting to die. And somehow God was like, nope, you're going to keep going. And now you're freaking riding a moped, and you're having to explain to this guy that you obviously feel like you need to adjust your life to. So you're trying to explain why you were once good. And I just was like looking at him going, I think you're doing great, dude. And then he smiled a little bit, and I don't know. It was all fun. We were enjoying the tacos. And what was really funny, though, is I had lost my wallet, and I didn't know it. And I got a phone call from the place that I'd lost my wallet at while I was in conversation. But the problem is I'm eating tacos that I have to pay for. But I'm talking on the phone to somebody that's telling me that the wallet that I have to use to pay for my tacos is somewhere else. So then I have to relay that to the whole thing ended up somewhat funny. In the end of it, what I thought was really funny, though, is sometimes you live longer than your mistakes, and you have to face them, and we're not expecting to have to. And what's fun about life is if you're one of those people that everybody thought was going to train wreck, and then somehow you take that time to really build your body, then there's not much they can do about it. And you gain a lot of power. What was I going to try to say with all of this? So you find little things to work on. And that's how, if you need redemption, that's how you get the redemption. You make the time that you sacrificed worthwhile. I think the story of Jesus is the walk with the cross. Someone else was carrying the cross behind Jesus, right? Isn't that how it works? And Jesus was he ended up getting the cross, though. He had to carry the cross. I can't remember. I think he had to carry the cross, right? Or did somebody carry the cross behind him? I don't even know the story. No wonder nobody listens to me. I was thinking that, I really can't remember. What was really funny about the Bodhi situation, my black cat who's crying again, was when she went outside and she went down to the front, and I'm trying to maintain my temper. There's birds chirping. It's just a beautiful day. And it felt so solemn and calm outside when I went out there. And I'm like, I'm the problem. Just because I want to do this stupid video that nobody's even going to watch. But in the end of all of that, when I circled back to finish this video, what I found was what I really need to start maximizing right now is my earning potential. Even though I have this thing about money, I need to pile up some money. So I got to figure out how to do that, just so that I can do a couple things. And I know that goes against what I've been trying to say, but what I need to do right now is leave it behind. I had a pretty rough run with where I was at the last 9 months, but I did a lot of really great things, I think. And now I just have to move forward. Yesterday was a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So make your plans accordingly. When you go into a new table in a poker tournament, sometimes you get moved from one table to another and you are doing really well. What's really important is when you change, or when somebody else comes to your table, when there's a shift, you need to make sure that you watch how things play out. So the cards are going to come. They're kind of like, they're going to come. There's no real pattern for them, but maybe there is. If you're able to identify the pattern, somehow there is a pattern. Now, it might not be very discernible, but sometimes you can see a sequence. Sometimes numbers and people and personalities and dynamics just seem to be in flow because that's what's being brought up. So what I would say is, whenever you go to a new situation, stay quiet and only answer questions. Do not reveal. Don't initiate. Sit back, be yourself, and allow it to come to you. That's what they always tell you to do in pretty much every situation, but especially if it's a big moment or big time where you need to make sure everything's slowed down. That's how you treat it. You go in there slow, but you got to know everybody else is going in slow too. That's why a lot of times they call it feeling each other out. They're really just trying to figure out, all right, let's just do a couple of the basic stuff and see where you're moving, so you can kind of figure out. And what you're trying to do is figure out what the overall strategy is if you have a competition. But you're really never competing with anybody but yourself. Know thyself. Love thyself. I give thyself to you, the viewer. Whenever, wherever, friend or foe, I do new day for you today. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter. It only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Man, we got off the rails, and that was a ridiculously long video. You know what's funny, though? I'm going to keep going. We're at 4/28/2025 was yesterday. I actually didn't do the video, but I wrote out a whole thing. So I want to just kind of read through it real fast. because I did it, and I might as well get it out. I don't even know what I wrote. So let's start with, I'm going to read it verbatim. We're going to do a quickie on Iron Realm later today. So that's what it was. I was on Iron Realm Media. They have a show. I've been going on there on Mondays. It's just kind of like a secondary or thirdary type person. I do well in the secondary, thirdary. Thirdary, is that a word? Thirdary? Anyways, I got on there, had a good time with it. I probably was a little bit too talkative. I tend to jump in. That's the other thing is I met somebody yesterday that was talking about joining a group. And I was wary of it because when I start to get involved in conversation, I tend to get invested. And I tend to not line up well with others because of a couple of key things. But if I just keep it closed and underneath, then I can usually still participate. But I want to be myself, really, is what I want. I've always said you'll never have to fire me from a straight commission job. We tested that theory. I was very close. I almost got fired, I think, because of underperformance. But luckily, they have another situation for me. We'll see. Hopefully, it's a better situation. All I can say is that I'm trying to do my best moving forward, and I'm going to take what I had. I have a lot of good skill sets, and I'm trying to find a way to use those to be helpful. The thing about learning from the past is no situation is the same. What was true yesterday may not be true tomorrow. I think the best thing I did in my life was quitting drinking and quitting smoking. For sure. I hear in the tone and see in the eyes, but did you quit weed? That's what I always get from people. I quit drinking and quit smoking. I haven't done that in 6 years. And what the follow-up question will be from pretty much everybody close to me is once I say those is, but did you quit smoking weed? Are you still smoking weed? Do you still smoke weed? So you really haven't done anything yet. And I say, fuck you. That's where I'm at. If you watch this far, you don't know shit about life if that's what you want to say. So go get your own fucking problems. I'm really done with it. I'm sick of it. They're not the same damn thing. It pisses me off, honestly. What I've done, you better recognize, or I'm sorry, I can move on and go do a different direction because I'm so sick of that. Watching people that are wrecking their lives with alcoholism talk to me about how, but are you really kind of done? Well, fuck off. And better than not drinking alcohol. I think that's a big step. How about that? And I'm done with it. Maybe I need to smoke a little weed so I calm down. They're not the same, dude. They're not. That's like, also I stopped drinking soda, but I do drink it every once in a while. But do you still eat French fries? Yeah, but I stopped drinking soda. Let's focus on that. I'm very tired of people who are ego smart. The bigger the ego, the easier for me to say, okay, see you later. Bye, guy. Or bye, girl. You're strong. You're tough. It's funny. People can't talk about other people around you. They struggle to find meaningful conversation. Like if you come in there and you start to feel uncomfortable because the person around you is a snitch, they're not a snitch, dude. You're just not a good person. You're gossiping. And they're the type of person that they'll probably call you on it. And you don't like that. Why don't you try to stop talking about other people and just go talk to the person? I don't need a script writer. I got this slow, baby. Look at the 33 minutes. And I really don't like being restrained for your good. Yeah, Bodie, I'm talking to you. I'm doing stuff here. You hear her in the background? It's ridiculous. I need to get this done so I can take her out because she obviously wants to go outside. But we're going out back. No more out front. There's wolves. Hold on for one more day. Hold on for one more day. I know, she's really mad at me. I have found that if you are patient, if you're patient, Bodie, the answer will reveal itself in every difficult situation. We're going to go out, I promise. I got her a brush, too. She's been shedding. And I have her on a diet. That's part of the problem, too. I was giving her basically a lot more food, and now she's got like a bowl, and she realizes she is a cat. She knows not to eat everything in the bowl, so she always leaves a little bit just in case. And she starts to diet herself, I think, a little bit. So she realizes that that's what I'm doing. So she sees the big bag there. She's like, there's tons of food in there. Why am I dealing with this? And I'm like, well, people are talking, and I'm sorry. I'm your owner. I have to manage your weight, or it reflects poorly on me as your cat owner. And it's really my fault. Everything's my fault. My decisions, my actions. I have been weak. I've been a weak father. I've been a weak friend. I've been a weak brother. I've been a weak son. I've been a weak, I've been weak. Not as strong as I needed to be, for sure. What can I do? Get stronger. What have I done? Become as strong as I've ever been in my life. I am as strong. What was fun when I was a kid in the pool? You ever done this? You're sitting there, and you got girls around, and you're kind of doing this. And I had a friend taught me that. You just you put your finger right there when nobody's watching. And if you do that, it makes your muscle look stronger. I could work on my bicep, though. It's not that strong, actually. But my hand here is getting much stronger. You can see my muscle, though. It's definitely getting stronger. I've been trying to work on just basically the small things. I'm not a big barbell kind of guy. I never liked it. But I do like doing yoga. I like doing different types of things like that. I would like to start really trying to delve into all kinds of different things that I've never done before, which is very exciting for me, especially considering I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life, other than this. I say with great confidence, David Michael Clark is strongest mind, body, soul, stars, breath, blood that I've ever been up until this point. And I feel like as I was doing yoga yesterday, the improvements have been, it's getting faster and faster. I'm pretty excited about that. Pacers, I went to bed. I went to sleep. I didn't even watch the whole game. Woke up the next morning. And I got to say, Pacers look pretty good. Look out. Clark Star looking pretty good. Look out. New day to start. Starting to really, in the bottom of the barrel. I think I am the least watched video on YouTube. When I get squared up, I'm going to be tough to knock down again. And it might just be easier to be my friend. What are we doing? Oh, I had music going. I was supposed to play Don't Worry by Bob Marley. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing. Best part of the awakening is the revealing of truth in places you didn't see it before. Like you see the manipulation and how manipulation is counterbalanced by everything else. So the breath is counterbalanced by the reality of the cosmos and the reality of the blood. I think part of that is too, this is a new thing. I think that deep in our genetics, we have the code of who we are, but then we have the social status of who we actually are here. And what's hidden is our ancestry. So some of the kings are paupers right now. Is that right? I don't know. It is in the end. We are in a different time for sure. Your fingers and your toes and your core and your alignment. My hands are stronger. Get your hands stronger. Get your hands stronger is a big one, because then you can work on your feet. And if you get your feet stronger, well, there's a lot that can be done from that. And if you walk on your toes a little bit, I'm telling you, I've been getting better with it, and it makes you align more. And then you kind of be like I think it's giraffes. Do giraffes? A lot of animals walk on their toes. It's a big thing. Use the strength. Don't carry it. Use it. Use your weight. Be the vessel. Be the best vessel you can be in the army. Clark's Army. I'm ready to roll. I'm primed up. I want to see success. I want to be success. I want to live success. I want people to look back at my video, see something, and then think, That guy did it and ended up where he is now by following the way, just by following the way. I want to do that. If you are a pig farmer's slave, like if you were the slave of a pig farmer, and you become the best slave pig farmer that there's ever been, you will change the dynamic of pig farming. And people will remember you as Luke, son or brother or something. It has something to do with Luke, I think. And you can change, and I can change, and we can change, and everybody can change. If I can change, and you can change, and we can change, everybody can change. That's it. Today is a new day to start again. Where are we at? 40 minutes? Who's watching? Nobody's watching. I'm going to hit 3 dingers. I'm really actually very excited about my life moving forward. And I have a feeling it's going to be bountiful. And regardless, somebody said something about, I was inquiring because there seems to be money out in the air that is attached to my name somehow. And what I would say is, I was inquiring about it, and I had a friend tell me or ask me, well, as long as your kids get it, that's fine, right? And I was like, yeah, that's basically how I want it. As long as it doesn't hurt them. Money can hurt people. Did you know that? But all I can say is I want to be there for my kids, and I want to make sure that I am healthy. So that's what I'm trying to do, mind, body, and soul. I'm not that healthy financially, but I don't know. You never know. Things can change. What was true yesterday may not be true tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that's tomorrow. Come what, Davey? Have a great day out there. I can't end. I do have a lot to do. I'm really excited about 2 sessions of yoga today and hanging with Bodhi. I'm going to get her outside. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm like, she's really developed her patience, though. She's ready to go, I think. We're going to go out back because that's what we're going to do now. And she has to stay in the fence line because there are dogs about. And we can't let Bodhi get hurt. That's my main responsibility because she's been a big impact in my life. Get yourself a Bodhi. If you had a Bodhi, it would be much better for you, I bet. But they whine. There's always positives and negatives. Same with me. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great day. Do great. Be great. Be grateful.